Hello everyone, welcome back to another banger Rageinater video. Today I'm going to be doing Rageinater thumbnail tutorial V2. Now if you haven't seen my original, don't worry about it, it's very outdated. Back then my thumbnails were really bad, now they're just bad, so if you've ever wanted to make thumbnails like I do, then this is the crappy tutorial for you. So first thing I do is obviously I grab a map BG, and obviously to do that just go into OSU, go into edit, and then file, open, and then get a map BG, drag it. So this play is a DT pass on Party in the Hollowwood from Mania. So I've just slapped it in, and I'm using Photopia because it's a free version of Photoshop in your browser, and I can't be asked to pirate Photoshop. It might be a bit different from Photoshop, but a lot of things carry over because it is literally like a clone. So the first thing you're going to want to do is make sure it's the right canvas size for a YouTube thumbnail. And now I'm going to think about what color this thumbnail is going to be. And my most recent video is going to be a blue thumbnail, so this one I'm probably going to do a reddish pink, as it always looks good. I love the reddish pink. So I'm going to go to image at the top left here, and I'm going to go click on that and go to adjustments and scroll on down to hue and saturation. And we're going to get this little menu. We're going to move it to the side so we can see what we're doing. And you can see if you change the hue slider, it changes the color of the map BG. So we're just going to slide it down a bit, and you can see get a little bit ready. Pink, and I'm going to up the saturation just a bit, maybe a bit less, and make it a little bit darker. And we're going to click OK, and then we're going to go back to image, back to adjustments, and just below to color balance. Now this will remove some different colors to make it a bit more red, so you can increase the red here on this slider, and you can see the background gets a little bit more red, and you can give it some magenta to make it like purple and pink. Or you can make it green. I don't recommend playing with them too much, because if you go too far, then it starts to really it just washes out all the colors and it makes it look horrible, you know. So don't go too crazy, but a little bit is fine. So I'm just gonna fine tune it here. And now the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go down to the bottom right here, and I'm gonna make a new layer, and then I'm gonna change the layer right here. I'm gonna change the blending mode to screen. Now what screen does is it lets you overlay colors on the screen without completely filling it in. So I'm going to go to the brush tool over here. I'm going to go down, I'm going to select a color, and we're going to go for the color we want the overall image to look. So a reddish pink, something like this. And then we're going to want to make it really dark. Click OK, and then right click, adjust the brush size to as much as you can, and the hardness all the way down to 0, and then just click out. And then if you accidentally press anything, then you can just Control Z. And I'm going to zoom out with Control minus, and I'm just going to overlay it. And then obviously that's still quite a lot, so you're going to make it a bit darker. And you just want to get a nice overlay, just so it helps make it the color you want. So now you can see if I turn the layer off and on with this eye symbol over there, you can see it's a lot more pink now, which is exactly what we're looking for. Might be a bit too dark though, so you can just make it a little bit more red, because I'm thinking it's too purplish right now. We will go with that. And now what you're going to want to do is make another layer. You're going to want to make this completely black, and you're just going to want to dot the outsides with it, just around the outside. Don't do too much, because it will end up looking really bad. Just as gentle as you can, click around the outside. Don't make it too dark. And if you do, it's fine. You can go to the eraser, and you can put the size to max, hardness to 0, and then you can do that. And also you can Control Z too. So yeah, you're just going to want to dot the outsides, and you can use the eyes to help you if you just want to look at what you're doing on a blank background. And then here you go, you've got a dark outline, and now you're going to want to make another layer, and you're going to get your color. Oh, whoops. Ish. And you're going to want to, once again, and make sure this layer is above the other ones, and you're going to want to go around the outside the exact same way as you did with the dark. And there you go. So now you've got a red background, pink, red, whatever color, and you can see the reason you do the black one is because when you remove it, it looks better with it, right? Like it makes it a lot more softer, and yeah, I think that just looks like a better thumbnail. And if you don't like the color, obviously you can go back to hue and saturation, play around with it. Like I think I've gone a bit too red. Maybe just little, maybe -3. And there you go. And now you are ready for the text. So go over here to the text tool, and I'm gonna click up here for the fonts. And the font I use is Road Rage Rob. It's a variant of Road Rage. I'll put a link down in the description, and I'm just gonna load font, and it will open up my downloads. Now you're gonna search Road Rage or whatever, you know, whatever font you're using, and you're gonna open it, and it will say it's loaded the font. Then you're just gonna click and drag with left click and get your first bit of titles. So this is a Dream Pass for me, so I'm probably gonna put Dream 7-star Pass. And if it doesn't want to load the font straight away, you can go back and find it, because it would have loaded the font in, but sometimes it doesn't apply it. And then the best way to resize it is go back to this little tool here, click transform controls, and that will give you an option to resize it and move it around. So this is a bit too big, like we need more text here. Move it around, put it like there, that looks pretty good. And now you're going to want to go over to the actual thing in the hierarchy, the Dream 7-star DT Pass, the text. You're going to right click on it and go to blending options, and then move that box over there, and you're going to want to add a stroke. Now this is where the magic starts. So you're going to want to get a good size, not too thick, not too small. I do them pretty thick, to be fair. And then once you've got a stroke set out, you're going to want to drop shadow, max opacity, bit of distance, kind of just what you feel works. Get some spread. You want a bit of everything. A bit more spread. Distance. Yeah, make sure you get just something that looks about right. And then once you've done that, go to gradient overlay, and then click on this, move it aside, and then click on the little box in the bottom left, and that will be your darker color. So you can just click here to grab the color from the actual border, and then click OK. Click on the box on the right, and you can swap them around if you're going for a pinker color instead of a darker color. So you just have to grab the boxes, move them around, you know, just play with it, see what looks good. The way I normally do it is darker color first, and then lighter color second. And there you go. Make sure you resize it as needed, and you don't want it too far to the left and right, so make sure it's just got a bit of space, because YouTube thumbnails might cut off a bit weirdly sometimes. And then you can go back to the hand thingy up here, the little mouse icon, and turn off transform controls, and there you go. You've got your first bit of text, and now you're going to want to Control C, Control V, and drag it down and add your second title. So I've put How Did I Survive, because I almost died in the play. And then just do the same as before, drag it down. You can use the arrow keys to get a more precise movement. So just make sure it's centered, and there you go. And now if you want to go back and make any adjustments, that's fine, because you can still see a lot of brown here. So maybe you want to go back to adjustments and go back to that color balance. And there you go. Another thing you can actually do as well is you can click on the BG, and you can filter and blur if you want, and then just go over Gaussian blur. So if you want the BG to just be a little blurred, you can do that. I don't normally do that though. But yeah, I hope this tutorial helped you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed my video. Go check out my other videos, and consider subscribing, as it will make me feel good. I'll see you all in the next video.